The Associated Press won its reinstatement to White House events. How did they get to that point? Let me break it down. January 20th, Donald Trump signed an executive order stating that the Gulf of Mexico would henceforth be named the Gulf of America. January 23rd, in response to the executive order, AP released a statement outlining how they would move forward, upholding the name the Gulf of Mexico. February 11th, AP's executive editor, Julie Pace, stated that they were barred from an event in the Oval Office because of their decision regarding the naming of the Gulf of Mexico. Today, we were informed by the White House that if AP did not align its editorial standards with President Donald Trump's executive order renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America, AP would be barred from accessing an event in the Oval Office. This afternoon, AP's reporter was blocked from attending an executive order signing. February 18th, President Trump said AP would be barred from the Oval Office and Air Force One until they stopped using the name Gulf of Mexico. February 21st, AP sued 3 Trump administration officials, stating that its case was about the White House's efforts to control speech. In the lawsuit, AP argued, "The press and all people in the United States have the right to choose their own words and not be retaliated against by the government." They claimed this violated both the First and Fifth Amendments. February 25th, the White House took control over which media outlets could access the press pool. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said,
"For decades, a group of DC-based journalists, the White House Correspondents Association, has long dictated which journalists get to ask questions of the President of the United States in these most intimate spaces. Not anymore."
The group she referred to, the White House Correspondents Association, had long worked to give different media outlets a fair rotation in the press pool to ensure access for the public. February 25th, a federal judge, Trevor McFadden, denied AP's request to restore full access to presidential events. Trump administration lawyers argued that they were not infringing on AP's rights, as those rights did not include special media access to the president. At the time, the judge acknowledged that the situation was problematic, but noted that more exploration was needed before a ruling could be made. March 3rd, AP amended its complaint, doubling its size from 18 to 32 pages, and renewed its request for access to the presidential press pool and other presidential events. March 27th, federal judge Trevor McFadden once again could not reach a decision, questioning whether it was the court's place to decide which reporters should or should not be excluded from presidential coverage. AP argued that the restrictions had negatively affected them, citing the loss of a $150,000 advertising contract. April 9th, Judge Trevor McFadden ruled that the government could not retaliate against AP's decision to use the name Gulf of Mexico. McFadden wrote, "Under the First Amendment, if the government opens its doors to some journalists, be it the Oval Office, the East Room, or elsewhere, it cannot then shut those doors to other journalists because of their viewpoints. The Constitution requires no less."